The black Mercedes Benz stopped in front of a big fancy hotel and cameras started flashing from all around. John Jungkook got out of the car looking perfect in his expensive suit. His face was calm. He walked to the other side before opening the passenger seat door and his hand extended back towards the car. And you stepped out next, dressed elegantly but not overly flashy. Still, no matter what you wore, people always had something to say. At 36, Jungkook was the epitome of wealth and power, one of the most influential CEOs in the country, and you, at 24, despite being a successful businesswoman in your own right, everyone insisted on seeing you as nothing more than his young trophy wife. As soon as you stepped out and walked next to your husband, you could already hear the whispers spreading faster than the flashes of the camera. You both are invited to a grand party and you already knew this has to happen. There's barely a single day gone without articles coming out on you being a trophy wife and some calling you his sugar baby. Jungkook's hand rested protectively at the small of your back as he held you inside. He doesn't give a damn about these rumors and people who always take interest in others' life and does all this to get attention, but you are not that strong. It sometimes affects you how people see you. He is untouchable, respected, even feared, but you are 24 and while you had worked hard to establish your own career in marketing, most people refuse to see beyond your age and your marriage to him. The whispers followed you like shadows. She looks like she's barely 20, definitely a sugar baby. That's what you get when you marry a billionaire, I guess, but why her? Probably just another girl chasing his bank account. You kept your head high, pretending not to hear, but the words cut deeper than you let on. It was the same story at every event, every gala, every meeting where you accompanied him. People couldn't fathom the idea that your marriage could be based on love rather than a financial agreement. Wayne, are you okay? He said, looking at you, bringing you back from your thoughts as you looked at him and smiled before nodding. Yep, I'm fine. He smiled and held your hand in his. Let's sit there, you must be tired. You nodded and walked with him to the table reserved for you guys. No matter what the world says, you know what you have. Jungkook not only a responsible husband, but he's caring and loving and your strength and positivity. He never let these unwanted thoughts consume you, and that's why whenever you are sad or worried, you always share your thoughts with him. You could see the stares from people. They either envy you for having a rich and loving husband because most of the riches just don't treat their wives like they want, and some jealousy comes out of there too. I'm sorry you have to come here with me. You know I just didn't want to be alone, especially in such party where everyone came with their partners. You smiled. I don't mind it. I'm happy so many people here recognize me by my work. I didn't know I was doing that well. Of course you are. You just don't let that fame get into your head, which is the most beautiful thing about you. Although the whispers and stares didn't get away, but you ignored them and decided to enjoy a good time with your husband. Although Jungkook could hear the whispers too, and that's why he tried to distract you. He knew being famous bring all the unnecessary hate and criticism, but he was now tired of it. He would have ignored if they talk about him, but now things started to come to you and he can never tolerate that. Later that evening, back in your penthouse, you were sitting on the couch while your knees tucked to your chest. The lights of the city twinkled outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, but you barely noticed. I don't understand why they won't stop. I'm not 19, I'm 24, I have a career, but no matter what I do, they treat me like I'm just with you for your money. Jungkook was sitting beside you. His face looked calm, but his eyes dark with an intensity that always came out when he was angry. But this wasn't an outburst kind of anger. This was the quiet kind, the dangerous kind. They don't know a damn thing. They're just jealous because you're more accomplished than half of the people who talk about you like that. You have worked for everything. They're just too jealous and blind to see that. You sighed, leaning your head on his shoulder. But I'm tired of it. I can't walk into a room without someone assuming I'm just a young gold digger. Jungkook wrapped his hands around your waist before pulling you closer to him as he felt his heart clench whenever he sees you all weak like this. I have had enough of it too. I don't care what they say about me, but they have crossed the line when they keep coming after you. This was the very first time you show him getting all annoyed and frustrated over this gossip instead of telling you to not take it seriously or ignoring it. You thought Jungkook would let it go like he always did. He was usually good at ignoring the media's nonsense, but then he stood abruptly, pulling out his phone. I'm not letting this go anymore. These comments, these articles, they are harassment. He looked angry and serious. You blinked surprise. Jungkook, what are you doing? He didn't answer right away. His thumb scrolled swiftly across his phone as he shot off a series of messages. Then he looked at you. His eyes were sharp. I'm filing an arrest warrant for harassment and defamation. Your eyes widened. You're what? Jungkook's jaw clenched. I'm done playing nice. They have gone too far. I have enough influence and resources to shut them down. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. They will soon know whom they messed up. But you really think an arrest warrant is necessary? It's just gossip. No, he interrupted. It's not just gossip anymore. The comments are vile. They're crossing boundaries, spreading lies, and making it unbearable for you to live your life. It's harassment, and I won't stand for it. You stare at him, taken aback by the seriousness in his tone. But what will people think? Jungkook let out a low, humorless laugh. They are already making assumptions about you, about us. I don't give a damn what they think anymore. I care about you and I won't let them keep attacking you. But isn't that a bit extreme? It's just people talking. I don't want you to get dragged into a legal battle because of me. He finally looked at you and his dark eyes locking onto yours with an intensity that made your breath catch. I don't care about the legal battle. This is about protecting you. You don't deserve to be treated like this, and I have enough influence to make sure the people responsible pay for what they have done. You swallowed, suddenly realizing how serious he was. I'm just worried. Won't this just add more fuel to the fire? They are already talking, but I'm done ignoring it. I'm done pretending it doesn't bother me when people talk about you like that. You are my wife, you deserve respect, and if they won't give it to you, I'll make sure they learn the hard way. His words sent a shiver down your spine. Jungkook had always been fiercely protective, but this was different. This was a man who was ready to take on the world for you. And while part of you felt nervous about the potential fallout, another part of you felt a deep sense of comfort, knowing he was willing to go to such length to defend your honor. He came near and hugged you. I just can't see you sad. I should have done this a long time ago. I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing for something you are not at fault? It doesn't affect me as long as you're with me. I don't care about anything. He pulled back and placed a soft kiss on your forehead. And I'm always with you. You're the most beautiful thing that happened to me, and no one can change that. You smiled and hugged him again, feeling the comfort and protection in his arms. The next day, the headlines exploded across every major news outlet. Billionaire Jungkook files charges for harassment and defamation, defends wife against online attacks. The news about Jungkook filing charges spread quickly. Every magazine, gossip, website, and social media platform talked about it. It felt strange seeing your life everywhere online. But this time it wasn't just about the rumors. Jungkook had made sure people saw the truth. He wasn't going to let anyone call you a trophy wife or gold digger. You were sitting on a chair in his office scrolling through articles on your phone. Most headlines talk about Jungkook's legal actions, but the comments were still mean. People who didn't know the truth kept guessing. She is still too young for him. Money works wonders. No one files lawsuits for their wife unless she's more than just a pretty face. You sighed and rubbed your forehead. Even with the lawsuit, people still didn't get it. No matter what Jungkook did, the world seemed ready to judge you. Jungkook came into the room. He noticed you scrolling through your phone and sighed softly. You're still reading that stuff? He asked, coming near you while you looked at him and pouted a little. I can't help it. Even after all this, people still think I'm just with you for your money. He came over and took the phone from your hands and put it face down on the table. He knelt beside you, looking you in the eyes. Let them talk. We have done what we needed to do. The truth out there, and the people who matters know it. But it's more than just the tabloids, Jungkook. It's everywhere we go. People think I'm 19, barely out of high school when I'm 24. They act like I'm some naive girl who you scooped up because I look good on your arms. He gently cupped your face in his hands before making you look at him in the eyes. They don't know you, and honestly, I don't care what they think. You are my wife. You didn't marry me for money, and anyone who can't see this isn't worth our time. You appreciated his words, but the weight of public perceptions was hard to ignore. They were being mean for no reason. How do you not let it bother you? You asked while Jungkook's lips curved into a small smile. Because I know you, I know what we have, and I've never been the kind of man to live for other people's approval. Besides, those comments, they are not just harmless gossip, it's harassment. And that's why I filed those charges. I'm done with people thinking they can say whatever they want about you, about us, without consequences. You nodded, feeling a little relaxed, but the frustration was still there. Do you think the lawsuit will really change anything? His expression grew serious. Yes, I do. People need to learn that their words have weight, and when they cross a line, they'll face the consequences. And I'm not going to let anyone make you feel small or insignificant, ever. A knock on the door interrupted the moment. Jungkook frowned, clearly not expecting visitors. He moved to open the door, revealing his lawyer standing there with a thick stack of papers. Mr. John, we have made progress. Several of the sites have already taken down the defamatory content, and we are moving forward with the rest of the cases. The lawyer explained, handing over some documents. Jungkook nodded, flipping through the papers before turning back to you. See, it's already happening. We are not backing down. As the lawyer left, Jungkook returned to you. He always makes sure you feel no pain. This isn't going to end overnight, but it's a start, and soon people will realize they can't mess with us. You took a deep breath, trying to shake off the lingering doubt. I just don't want this to become a constant battle. I want us to live our lives without having to defend our relationship all the time. Jungkook pulled you into his arms. We will. Once the dust settles, they'll move on to someone else, and even if they don't, we'll face it together. You're stronger than you give yourself credit for. You rested your head against his chest, feeling the steady beat of his heart. I know, I just want people to see me for me, not just as your young wife. They will, and if they don't, that's their loss, but I see you. I've always seen you. You smile softly, pulling back just enough to look up at him. Thank you for standing up for me, for filing those charges. I didn't realize how much it bothered you. Jungkook's gaze softened, his thumb tracing the line of your jaw. It bothers me more than you know, but I won't let them win. No one get to disrespect you like that. Your heart melted knowing that you were with the right man. The next week was wild. Some people thought Jungkook was overreacting, while others praised him for standing up against online harassment. And slowly people started to see you for who you really were. After a few days, you went to a charity event with your husband, your head held high. You could still feel people staring, but this time their whispers were different. She's not just arm candy, she's really impressive. She has done some amazing work on her own. Even the news articles say different stories now. They say she's too young for him, but isn't it time we stop assuming a woman's worth is tied to her age or her husband's bank account? John Jungkook's wife, like many women in her position, deserves better than the label society has thrown at her. Did you see the way he defended her? One woman whispered as you passed, "They're actually in love. I was wrong about her." That's the woman who stood up by him. She's not just some arm candy. Did you see her latest project? She's impressive. You caught Jungkook's eye across the room and he smirked slightly, as if to say, "See, they're finally catching on." He came near you, pulling you closer to him. You both were smiling slightly. "See, they finally started to realize they were wrong." You smiled up at him, a feeling of relief washing over you. "Thank you for everything." Jungkook's eyes softened, a rare sigh that only you can got to witness. "You don't need to thank me. Protecting you is my job." You pressed a kiss to his cheek and he smirked, his playful side returned. "You know, if being your sugar daddy means I get to spoil you and shut down anyone who dares to talk bad about you, I think I can live with that title," he said in a low, whispering voice while you laughed, shaking your head. "You're impossible, and you love it," he said, pulling you close. That night, as the world looked on, it became clear to everyone that you weren't just his young wife, you were his equal, standing strong by his side, and no one could question that anymore. Jungkook raised an eyebrow as he knew you have something to say. "Are you still thinking about all that?" You looked at him and shook your head. "Nope, I'm thinking that maybe it's not about proving anything to anyone. Maybe it's just about us living our lives and letting people think what they want." Jungkook wrapped his arm around your shoulders, pressing a kiss to the top of your head. "Exactly, and as long as we are good, nothing else matters." And for the first time in a long while, you believed him. The world might never fully understand your relationship, but with Jungkook by your side, you realized you didn't need them to. You had each other, and that was enough.